Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Pakistan violates ceasefire in Rajouri Poonch sector of Jammu and Kashmir. BSF troops foil infiltration attempt by 6 militants along international border in Katwa district. Congress suffers major political setback in Uttar Pradesh. Former State Party President Rita Bahuguna Joshi joins the BJP, says criticism of surgical strikes was the final straw for her. Home Minister Rajnath Singh directs Delhi Police to set up a special team to trace missing JNU student. Protesters detain vice chancellors and other officials for over 20 hours. Vice President Mohammad Abid Ansari returns from 5-day visit to Hungary and Algeria, says both nations endorsed India's stand on the issue of terror. And Donald Trump's campaign takes another hit after the third US presidential debate, says he will not commit himself to accepting election results if he loses. Face-Off sees him call Hillary Clinton a nasty woman. Our top story this evening, the Border Security Force today foiled a major infiltration bid by a group of terrorists along the international border between India and Pakistan. This came on a day when Pakistan yet again violated the ceasefire in the Bimber Gully and Balakot sectors along the line of control in Rajouri district. This is the second ceasefire violation in just 2 days.
Border Security Force troops have foiled a major infiltration bid by a group of 6 militants along the international border in Katwa district of Jammu and Kashmir. The militants reportedly attacked a vehicle carrying troops who were patrolling the area. BSF retaliated in equal measure and the firing stopped after a few hours. No casualties were reported.
Heavily armed militants, 5 to 6 numbers. They made forced infiltration. They made an attempt of forced infiltration and tried to infiltrate through the IB. But that was timely detected and retaliated in a very befitting manner. The message is very clear. They can make attempts. They can come up to IB. But once they cross IB or make an attempt like this, they will not go back live.
Meanwhile, ceasefire violation by Pakistan continued for the second day in Manjkot sector of Rajouri district early Thursday morning. Pakistani troops used small arms, automatic weapons and 82mm mortar bombs to target Indian positions.
ये गोला जो हमने पहली बारी देखा है 120mm मोटार है, तो इसके आप देखो कि इसे को बच सकता है या नहीं. देखो कितने नुकसानदायक ये गोला है. हम क्या इधर रह सकते हैं? इसमें रहने के लिए भी हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है.
पूरा गोले अंदर आए, मेरा मकान पूरे टूट गया है. तो थल्ले हम क्या करें, थल्ले आ गए हैं तो निके निके बच्चे हैं, हम गरीब लोग हैं, तो मजदूरी करके हम वक्त पास करते थे और देखो हम कहां पर जाएंगे.
On Wednesday too, Pakistani troops had shelled Indian positions with mortar bombs and automatic arms in the Rajouri Poonch sector.
उसको रोक नहीं सकते शेलिंग वाल. पता यह है कि जहाँ कहीं भी हमें ऐसी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलेगी कोई बंदा जख्मी हो गया या और को किसी का कोई नुकसान हुआ है तो हम इंशाल्लाह बर वक्त वहाँ पहुँचेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि लोगों को बचाने की. वो हमारा सबसे बड़ा अहम फर्ज वही है.
Amid the ongoing tension, normalcy seems to have returned to the Kashmir Valley with increased vehicular traffic on Srinagar's main roads and the city's civil line areas. Shops also open in some areas of Lal Chowk and in the outskirts of the city as more people were now defying the shutdown call given by the separatists. However, life in other areas of the valley remained affected for the 104th consecutive day as separatists extended the shutdown till October 27th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the Jawaharlal Nehru University is once again being rocked by a protest. Students have been agitating for the last 2 days over the alleged inaction by varsity officials in tracing a student who went missing on Saturday. University Vice-Chancellor M. Jagadish Kumar and 12 other officials were even confined to an administrative building for over 20 hours without food or water. It was only after an assurance from Home Minister Rajnath Singh that the officials were allowed to leave. More details of the standoff in this report.
The JNU campus once again on the boil, this time over the mysterious disappearance of a student, Najib Ahmed. Ahmed hasn't been seen for the last 5 days, reportedly after a brawl with members of the ABVP. Students are holding protests for the last 3 days, alleging inaction by varsity officials in finding him.
प्रशासन जो है अपनी इनसेंसिटिविटी और इनह्यूमन रवैये पे अड़ा हुआ है। बार बार इस चीज को कहने पे कि जो 4 डिमांड हैं जो जस्टिस फॉर नजीब की लड़ाई, मतलब नजीब के लिए न्याय की लड़ाई को आगे ले जाएंगे, प्रशासन एक कदम भी बढ़ाने को नहीं तैयार है। एक इगोइस्टिक रवैया लेकर बार बार स्टूडेंट्स का जो एक तरह से कहा जाए धैर्य है उसकी परीक्षा लेता है। और स्टूडेंट्स इतने डेमोक्रेटिक मीन से जब यहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं तो प्रशासन को इतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं हो रही, इतनी मतलब एक तरह से सेंसिटिविटी भी नहीं हो रही कि आके स्टूडेंट से बात करके उनसे एक जो उनकी जो सिंपल डिमांड है जो कुछ।
The standoff escalated on Wednesday when the students detained the Vice Chancellor and 12 other officials in the administrative building for over 20 hours without food and water. Despite assurances from the Vice Chancellor, the students refused to budge.
We are taking all necessary steps to trace Najib Ahmed. First of all, I would like to inform you that we have reported the case to the police and regularly monitoring the developments by keeping in touch with them. Secondly, we have made an appeal to Najib Ahmed through the media and the university's website to return and resume his academic activities without any fear. Thirdly, a fair inquiry has been initiated in the Chief Proctor's office on the alleged violence during the election campaign for membership in the mess committee in the hostel.
The officials were allowed to leave only after Home Minister Rajnath Singh intervened with an assurance that a special police team will be set up to find Ahmed. The Delhi police has set up a special investigation team to trace the missing student. 10 other teams are looking for Najib Ahmed in Delhi and neighbouring states. A cash award of 50,000 rupees has also been announced for anyone with information about him.
वाइस चांसलर और जो सीनियर ऑफिसरों को वहाँ पे बंधक बना करके रात में रखना ये बहुत गलत बात है। और जेएनयू में कुछ छात्राएं ऐसे हैं जो लगता है पढ़ने के लिए नहीं आया, वो राजनीति करने के लिए आया है।
दिल्ली पुलिस क्या कर रही है? सो रही है। और जेएनयू के वाइस चांसलर ये कह रहे हैं कि काम पुलिस का है। ये बात सही है कि पुलिस का ये काम है, लेकिन उनको भी तो पूरी कोशिश करना चाहिए। अगर लड़कों ने घुराव किया है उनका तो उसकी वजह यही है।
The crisis in JNU was triggered on Friday after a brawl in the Mahi Manvi hostel. Najib Ahmed went missing after he was reportedly beaten up by ABVP members. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Uttar Pradesh Congress leader Rita Bahuguna Joshi joined the BJP today in a huge setback for the Congress ahead of the next year's polls in the state. Joshi cited her issues with the Congress, especially the stand it took by questioning the recent surgical strikes conducted by the army. Meanwhile, the Congress called her exit as a betrayal to the party.
Former Uttar Pradesh Congress chief Rita Bahuguna Joshi has joined the BJP. After resigning from the Congress, Joshi joined the BJP in the presence of party president Amit Shah.
कांग्रेस पार्टी से इस्तीफा देकर भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस से और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सदस्यता को ग्रहण किया। निर्णय बहुत आसान नहीं था, लेकिन राष्ट्र हित और प्रदेश के हित में मैंने ये निर्णय बहुत ही विचारोपरांत लिया है।
Joshi, daughter of Congress stalwart and former UP Chief Minister Hemwati Nandan Bahuguna, termed the decision as an emotional one. She also questioned the leadership of Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and criticized him for being a bad listener.
उसके उपरांत कांग्रेस पार्टी को जिस तरह से आगे बढ़ना चाहिए था संघर्ष में हम नहीं बढ़े। मैं लगातार पार्टी में इस मुद्दे को उठाती रही 3, 4 साल कि हमारा संघर्ष कमजोर है। इन दलों से मुक्त अगर उत्तर प्रदेश को कराना है तो बहुत ही सक्रियता की आवश्यकता है, परंतु वो नहीं हुई। संगठन निष्क्रिय पड़ा रहा, प्रायः कुछ काम नहीं किया और अंततोगत्वा ऐसे हालात हो गए कि पीके का सहारा लेना पड़ा। अब प्रशांत किशोर जी देखिए, पोल मैनेजर तो हो सकते हैं, पोल के डायरेक्टर नहीं हो सकते।
The Congress, however, was quick to respond and has termed Joshi's exit as betrayal. It has also accused the BJP of amassing what it calls is an army of traitors.
बीजेपी का एक सूत्रीय कार्यक्रम है दगाबाजों की फौज इकट्ठी करना, और बीजेपी दगाबाजों की फौज इकट्ठा करने में कामयाब हो रही है।
तो बड़े अरसे से ढूंढ रही थी कोई सेफ सीट, क्योंकि वो सोचती थी कि शायद वो जीत नहीं पाएगी। तो उससे सेफ सीट उन्होंने बीएसपी में ढूंढी, समाजवादी में ढूंढी और अब बीजेपी में चली गई। तो ये अवसरवादी नेता जो होते हैं ये एक जगह टिकते नहीं। वो पहले समाजवादी में थी, अब कांग्रेस में थी, अब बीजेपी में हैं, कल कहाँ जाएंगी। तो ये तो बराबर अवसरवाद है।
Rita Bahuguna Joshi leaving the party comes as a huge setback for the Congress ahead of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh next year. Although the Congress leadership has dismissed it as not affecting the party, it sure could lose some ground. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, let's go across to our correspondent Vishal. He has been tracking the story for us. Vishal, as far as Rita Bahuguna Joshi herself is concerned and her political capital, how much of that is in the state that the BJP could benefit from? And just in terms of just optics, this is indeed a blow to the Congress, isn't it?
Well, to an extent, yes, it is a blow to the Congress because if you look at Rita Bahuguna's position in the Congress, she was the UPCC president, so obviously a former state president of a party, leaving that particular party and joining the ranks of its rival just months before the assembly elections is something which cannot be dismissed as unimportant. But if you look at another factor, then this discontent, in Rita Bahuguna's camp within the Congress was simmering for quite some time, and specifically after the Congress party had decided to project another Brahmin face as its chief ministerial candidate, that is former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit. Clearly, that doesn't seem to have gone down well with Rita Bahuguna. And then on top of that, she also was not given back the responsibility of heading the state unit. That post went to Raj Babbar. And as we heard her, expressing her grouse against the Congress's poll strategist in Uttar Pradesh, Prashant Kishore. So obviously, the situation for Rita Bahuguna inside the Congress party was definitely not at all favorable. And given the fact that her brother and former chief minister of Uttarakhand has already, shifted base to the BJP. So it doesn't, it doesn't look like that this might have come as a difficult decision for Rita Bahuguna Joshi.
All right, but Vishal, if you talk about the Congress party, it's already started its campaign, kick-started one of the first few parties to kick-start their campaign in the state of Uttar Pradesh. But as far as dissent within the ranks goes, could this be a first? Do you see more of this happening if the Congress is gaining ground?
Well, there might be more dissensions which might be in the making right now. But if you look at the status, or rather the situation of the Congress leaders, the state-level leaders in the state of Uttar Pradesh, they're not in a very, very strong position as of now. The Congress holds almost just 24 seats in the assembly. They have just 2 Lok Sabha MPs from the particular state, and that also in the form of the Congress president and the vice president. So obviously, all those leaders who held very strong portfolios, in Dr. Manmohan Singh's cabinet in the UPA too, and also very strong positions in the state of Uttar Pradesh in the party organization, doesn't seem to be doing well politically. So as of now, it seems really highly improbable until and unless other opposition parties, other rivals, be it BSP, BJP or Samajwadi Party, can put them to some good use. It seems highly unlikely that there would be others who would be following Rita Bahuguna Joshi. But yes, this is politics, Ishan, and all of us know anything can happen.
All right, and a quick word about the BJP, because apart from defections from the SP and the BSP, now a Congress leader coming in, is the BJP getting stronger in Uttar Pradesh?
Well, in this particular stage, and specifically with just a few months to go, any addition to BJP's rank would be seen as boosting their morale, and they have already been trying to, garner those Brahmin votes, specifically after the Congress party had announced Sheila Dikshit as its chief ministerial candidate, and a statement has already come in from BJP state unit chief Keshav Prasad Maurya that the BJP will not project a chief ministerial candidate a clear indication that the BJP is not very comfortable as far as the caste combination game of Uttar Pradesh politics is concerned, and they do not want to sort of, preempt the voters' choice by putting in a particular face from a particular caste.
All right, Vishal, we'll leave it there. Vishal, of course, will keep a track of all the political developments for us. Now, moving on, Sino-Indian ties are running into a series of roadblocks on various issues, including terror and the NSG issue. Chinese daily Global Times has suggested to Chinese industries to refrain from investing in India. But Chinese interlocutors in India argue that the atmospherics between the two countries can only be changed if there is smooth business. They also say that India needs to change its strategy to get a permanent membership of the UN Security Council.
With India facing a determined Chinese opposition to its claim for a permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council, Chinese interlocutors are suggesting that India should change its strategy.
My personal opinion, I support if you leave the group of four, now making a combined effort with Japan. We don't worry if India become, we will be happy to see India in the Security Council, but not Japan.
Sun Yushi says that instead of creating trade barriers for China, India should provide better business facilities for it to help soothe bilateral relations.
The trade issues between India and China are resolved. Do you think that other relations can also be improved?
Yes, I think so, because there is a spillover effect. I mean, from trade investment to other affairs. For example, I think infrastructure is an area that China and India can cooperate with each other.
India and China have a bilateral trade worth $71 billion, with the balance heavily tilted in favor of China. But with China unwilling to lose Pakistan as its ally, the focus is on India to see how far it will go to arrest the downtrend in the relationship.
Confrontation between India and China is increasing by every passing day, and the losers are both the countries. It will be interesting to see that who takes the first initiative to break the ice and in what way. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Television with camera person Syam Lal in Delhi.
Some more national news updates now in Nationwide. Punjab Congress Chief Amrinder Singh has refuted reports of Navjot Singh Sidhu joining the party. He also called the offer of the post of Deputy Chief Minister to Sidhu a wild speculation. Amid reports that Sidhu is planning to merge his party Awaz-e-Punjab with the Congress, Amrinder said no talks have taken place. AIDMK on Thursday said that Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha was completely well and will return home soon. She is said to be making good progress and there is reportedly no cause for concern. 68-year-old Jayalalitha was admitted to the Apollo Hospital on 22nd September after she complained of fever and dehydration. Meanwhile, party workers and supporters of Jayalalitha continue to hold special prayers in temples, churches and mosques across the state to wish her a speedy recovery. Forensic reports on Thursday confirmed that the cause of death of former Arunachal Chief Minister Kalikopul was suicide. The report said that there was no foul play involved in Pul's death. The 47-year-old leader's body was found hanging in his official residence in Itanagar less than a month after he had quit as Chief Minister following a Supreme Court verdict. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh has assured that Karan Johar's Ae Dil Mushkil will get a safe, secure release in theatres on 28th October. A delegation led by Mukesh Bhatt went to meet Singh, who assured a great Diwali to them with the release of the film. The film is under threat from the MNS for featuring Pakistani actor Fawad Khan. Trouble for Ae Dil Mushkil began when the debate about letting Pakistani artists work in India sparked off after the Uri attack. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Now our responsibility has increased when we come to the Ministry of Earth Science. The whole country is looking at us. What you are going to deliver in another few years. Our challenges are very difficult and I think we are confident that it should be achievable. We need to inculcate the youngster into our group.
Watch Eureka with Dr. T. N. Prakash, Director, National Center for Earth Science Studies,
only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari has concluded his 5-day visit to Hungary and Algeria, during which he held discussions with the leaderships of the two countries on strengthening bilateral ties. On the final day of his visit to Algeria, Vice President Ansari held wide-ranging discussions with Algerian President and Prime Minister and stressed on rejuvenating India-Algeria ties. A preliminary meeting to explore the possibilities of setting up a multi-billion-dollar fertilizer project in Algeria was also held on Wednesday. India also signed 2 agreements with Hungary, including one on water management, during the 3-day trip to the country.
Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari has said that his visits to Hungary and Algeria have pumped new life in bilateral ties. During the visit, he was hosted by the top leadership of both these nations. Both the regimes acknowledged the seriousness of the issue of terror and endorsed the stand taken by India. There were substantive discussions on exploring new areas of cooperation as well.
The discussions, the question of terrorism came up, and the views that were expressed in conversations were entirely to our satisfaction, because everybody accepts that terrorism is a disease with which the world cannot live. And it has to be eradicated like any other disease.
The Vice President also flagged Hungary's expertise in niche sectors like science and technology, clean water and climate. He said that the expertise can be harnessed by India. An MOU on clean water technology was reached during this visit. Both the countries also agreed to set up a working group to strengthen cooperation in science and technology sectors.
Sustainability is a particularly strong subject with them. Clean water, clean environmental energies. So this is an area where bilateral cooperation will be furthered. There was agreement on this. There was also an agreement on establishing a working group on science and technology that will include certain aspects of security and defense technologies.
The Vice President also acknowledged Algeria's importance in enhancing India's Africa outreach policy. He outlined the reciprocity shown by the host country in this regard.
Recorded on arrival and at the time of departure, the farewell went beyond the requirements of protocol. The normal practice is either you are received by the counterpart.
India and Algeria have also agreed to explore the possibility of a fertilizer plant as a joint venture. Expressing satisfaction on the conclusion of his two-nation tour, the Vice President also informed that the Prime Minister of Algeria has accepted the invitation extended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit India, which will further boost the ties between the two nations in the coming days. Sandeep Yash and Chetan Datta's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, U.S. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and her Republican rival Donald Trump clashed in the third and final debate at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. The debate saw both candidates clash on issues ranging from abortion to gun rights to the role of the Supreme Court and immigration. Recent polls suggest Clinton is ahead nationally and also in key battleground states.
With less than 3 weeks to go for the US presidential elections, the two candidates clashed in the third and final debate in Las Vegas. The debate extended the campaign's bitter tone as both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton accused each other of fraud and financial misappropriation. Republican nominee Donald Trump called his rival a nasty woman, while the Democratic candidate called Trump a puppet of Russia.
Finally, will Donald Trump admit and condemn that the Russians are doing this and make it clear that he will not have the help of Putin in this election, that he rejects Russian espionage against Americans, which he actually encouraged in the past.
If Russia and the United States got along well and went after ISIS, that would be good. He has no respect for her. He has no respect for our president. And I'll tell you what, we're in very serious trouble because we have a country with tremendous numbers of nuclear warheads, 1,800, by the way, where they expanded and we didn't. 1,800 nuclear warheads, and she's playing chicken. Look, Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
Trump also defended himself over the accusations of sexual assault, saying they were false and orchestrated. Recent polls show Trump losing key battles after multiple allegations emerged, following which Trump peddled charges that the US presidential election is rigged. In the debate, he also refused to say whether he would accept the result if Clinton won. Clinton said that Trump had an old history of cribbing when things didn't go his way.
Look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time. What I've seen is so bad. First of all, the media is so dishonest and so corrupt, and the pile-on is so amazing. The New York Times actually wrote an article about it that they don't even care. It's so dishonest, and they've poisoned the minds of the voters. But unfortunately for them, I think the voters are seeing through it.
You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him. The FBI conducted a year-long investigation into my emails. They concluded there was no case. He said the FBI was rigged. He lost the Iowa caucus. He lost the Wisconsin primary. He said the Republican primary was rigged against him. Then Trump University gets sued for fraud and racketeering. He claims the court system and the federal judge is rigged against him.
The two presidential rivals also had a heated debate on abortion, gun rights, role of the Supreme Court and immigration during the 90-minute showdown. The final debate is likely to influence a lot of voters. Currently, Clinton had a lead of 48.6% over Trump's 42.1% among potential voters. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for some sports now, and in the one-day between India and New Zealand, India needed 243 runs to win the second one-day, which is being played at Delhi's Firozshah Kotla Stadium. India presently is at 35 for 1 in 10 overs. Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane at the crease. Put into bat first, New Zealand lost opener Martin Guptill on the second ball, but Kane Williamson and Nathan Latham combined for a 120-run second-wicket partnership to steer the team to a big score. Williamson completed his 8th one-day century before being caught off spinner Amit Mishra. Indian bowlers then put in a superb bowling performance, picking up the last 7 wickets with just 38 runs. Jasprit Bumrah and Amit Mishra finished with 3 wickets each. The win will give India a 2-0 lead in the 5-match series. India won the first one-day in Dharamshala by 6 wickets.
That's out as well, I think. Yes, he's got another golden arm.
Some more sports action now in Sports Beat. Indian shuttler PV Sindhu has advanced to the second round of the Denmark Open Super Series. The Rio Olympic silver medalist defeated China's He Bingjiao 21-14, 21-19 and will next face Sayaka Sato of Japan. HS Pranoy and Ajay Jairam also advanced to the second round in the men's singles event. India jumped 11 places to climb to the 137th position, the latest FIFA rankings, their best ever football ranking since 2010. The rise comes in the wake of India's win against 114th ranked Puerto Rico in an international friendly in September.
Creating all sorts of problems.
Lionel Messi's 41st career hat-trick helped Barcelona register the 4-0 win over Pep Guardiola-led Manchester City on Wednesday. Both sides were reduced to 10 men after City goalkeeper Claudio Bravo and Barca defender Jeremy Mateus were shown red cards in the second half. Neymar completed the rout with a lead finish. Barcelona lead Group C with 9 points, 5 ahead of second-place City. That's all from us. Goodbye.